Hello, everyone. Welcome to my show today. I'm shooting from a different position because I wanted brighter light. And today's topic is 5 first date tips to increase attraction. I'm Susan Winter, best-selling author, and I am your love coach for today. And I could not begin to do this live show if it were not for Gwyneth and Bea, who are assisting me as fabulous moderators. If you are new to the show, welcome. I think there are some first timers today. Please introduce yourselves to us so that we can all say hi to you. And before I get going, right off the bat, we've got a contribution here, $10. Golden Hawk 521, thank you so much. This is beautiful. And Golden Hawk says, hi, Susan. You have absolutely changed my perspective, my life, and have helped me find the man of my dreams. His name is Richard, and I'm really so very happy that I can cry. You have done a great service. Wow. Thank you. I'm really moved by that. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Golden Hawk. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm very, very, very moved by that. That is a beautiful testimony. And you obviously did the first date well, so you just came to say hi. Welcome, as Jillian calls all of you Susanites. I really, really do appreciate this. And I truly enjoy getting information from people that I've never met. You're not clients. I am not of the philosophy that I'm going to walk you to the edge to say, oh, but for my class, buy my class for $1,700. I really want you to know. If you want to work with me, fantastic. We'll do it. We'll do a bang-up job on whatever you need to get solved. But I'm really glad that this is the contribution that I'd hoped it would be. So huge thanks. And all right, here we go. So thank you, everyone. And again, welcome all of you. Love from Nova Scotia. CC is here. Jillian is here, who is happily partnered and a wonderful contributor. And I love it that many of you come back and you've got a partner. You don't need to be here, but it's a lovely family. So thank you, everyone. And congratulations, Golden Hawk. That is correct. Now, let's talk about first dates, okay? I understand that depending upon how much you actually meet in person, now so much of it is done online and it falls by the wayside before we even get to a physical meeting, right? But let's say that you actually do meet somebody and you kind of like them, or you're thinking, this might be something. And we can, get a little nervous or a little self-conscious. But one thing that we almost always do as humans, we default to, I know for sure I want them to like me. And I'm just being honest here. You all know it. You may not have any intention to go forward with them. They may be somebody who's kind of a meh to you, but you want to go on a date. Or they could be somebody interesting. But most of your conscious thinking will be focused on, how am I coming off? Do I look good? Are they interested in me? Is this working out? I understand that. And don't berate yourself. You're human. We all want to be the one who makes the choice as to what's going to happen at the end of the date. I mean, it's okay if we don't want them, it's okay, but we certainly don't want them not to want us. But let's talk about attraction, because so much of the online dating that ends up being a physical date oftentimes is based on chemistry. And it's all physical attraction and some fantasy that's put in there as to what you imagine this blank canvas will be for you. But there is a way to create a deeper connection, which for those of you on this channel is what you are looking to create. You are looking to create a deep, meaningful, substantial connection. And that is done on a different level. Yes, make an effort, try to look nice if you care about the date at all. I have done duty dating where I've just shown up from the gym and kind of like fluffed up my hair a little bit because I really didn't care. And I admit I'm a lazy dater. But when I do care, I put a little effort. Well, actually, I put a lot of effort into it. Make sure the nails are done, the toenails are done, the hair is good, the makeup's good, everything, the clothes. So we try to make an effort, right? Because it is a first impression. So let me start with what I think is stellar. It's a little thing that is a very, very, very big thing. 1, put your phone away. Unless you are waiting for urgent information as to whether your father is going to live or die and what you do next, or you are sitting on a multi-million-dollar real estate deal and any moment you need to correspond with this person. And if that is the case, that you need to draw your attention away from the person that you are with, let them know in the beginning, I am so sorry. I want to pay attention to you. I am expecting an urgent call. And if it comes, I am going to take it. And no, it's not one of those, oh, call me, Paul, so I can ditch the date. It's nothing about that. And be honest and forthright, because the greatest thing that will create attraction, and attraction from the inside out, meaning they already like you enough to have established a date with you. So all this is okay. Whatever is in your profile is okay. And if they've met you in person, all this is agreeable. But what they're looking for now is that thing. And it's the emotional Velcro. It's what I call it. Like, chemistry is mercurial. How many of you have had a love affair? You jumped into something too soon. This person looked at you like a piece of meat and they hadn't eaten in a year. And you were just like, oh, I love being desired. And it happens. No interest. They just like whatever, because it was the acquisition of a goal. It was a physical fantasy. So that ride is very tenuous. What I'd like to prepare all of you to do is to create from the beginning a template of, I'm something real, and I'm going to show you what this is, because that is the power. Not, oh, look at all this. You never had anything like that. It's not that. Please don't get in the middle of the high heel stampede. That is the cheapest trick in the world, and everybody does it because they don't know what else to do. But the real hook is this and this and this, and being present. And the power of being present. Look, you might not like them. Okay, they might be boring as hell. I get it. But at least show up and do your side of it to practice. If they're not the one for you, they're not the one, but you were shining brilliantly. You did your job as a great date. You showed up to find out who they were. So put your phone away, be present. That's number 1. Does anybody have any questions about that? Because this is a live show. We can do this. Everybody's talking to Jillian. Okay, I will keep going then. If we don't have any questions, that's number 1. Please be present. And if you need to have some kind of correspondence on your phone, let your date know why. Okay. Number 2, ask questions about them and listen. This is really helpful because we are, again, so busy trying to impress them with who we are that we don't often, the goal is to find out who they are quite selfishly for you. Here's the backside. When you're doing it right, both people benefit. You want to know if this is a viable candidate for you to invest your time and your heart and your emotions. That's for you. That's your due diligence. But on the other hand, you want to give them a fair shake and let them come out. Not everybody is skilled at having conversation. And the ones who are, the charismatic ones that are really good at this, the professional salespeople, are oftentimes the same way in this. They've done these dates. They know exactly the routine. They know when they're going to bed you. They know when they're going to get what they want. They're going to get whatever they want. Okay. And they know because they are so charming and they're so interested and they find you so fascinating. And we lap it up like a kitty laps up milk. We like that as humans. So understand psychology. And on your end, what I would ask you to do is to look at them and ask questions about their hobbies, about their family, about their interests. Now, there's a fine line between asking questions to know who a person is and having it sound like an interrogation. I knew a lady, she was a soap star, and I might have told you about her before, but she had like 28 questions. This was like, we're talking 2003. But she went through the whole list. Have you been diagnosed with a mental illness? Have you done jail time? Are you currently involved with somebody? Are you living with somebody? Are you divorced, or are you separated, living in the same home? I mean, she would put them through the drill. She actually did that. Do you have any addictions I need to know about? I mean, she was exhausted dating, exhausted. And there was a guy that went through the entire checklist. Now her husband, he did it. He put up with it, but she wanted to know. Now, that's a little brutal. Tongue in cheek, it was kind of cute, actually, but you do not have to do it like that. The point of asking questions is to have a conversation starter. Maybe they're verbal. Maybe you luck out and you get somebody. That's why I like coffee dates. At least they've got a little caffeine and maybe they'll talk, right? And, they get excited about their hobby, their work. So you want to know who they are. And asking questions and then listening is important, okay? Listening to their answers. Now, that is for you. Here's what listening does as far as conversation building. Listening allows you to build on that bit of information and add more information to it, which then mirrors them in whatever their conversation is, where they feel seen and heard, and then they also realize you're listening, and now they feel a connection with you because, oh, yeah, I actually don't play volleyball, but, I had a cousin who was on a sports team. I used to go watch him. Really, did he do it? So even if it's not your thing, even if you're just interested, oh, really, I didn't know, and I've never thought about antiquities that way. And what would you say is, and ask questions, let them come out, let them talk about what they love, because you will learn so much about them. You'll learn where their passion lies, you'll learn their interests. And what we're trying to do is not only draw them out for you to see who they are. Do I like this? Do I like the lifestyle? Do I like what's going on? Do I like their perspective, their thinking, how they handle things? What are they revealing about themselves that is for your internal analysis? This is all going into your computer. And then the next thing is, how do I build on this to create a deeper connection with them? How do I talk about that? Oh, I love art too. I didn't know that you liked modern art. I mean, that, not everybody does. I mean, it's a little, yeah, oh my God, did you see the latest installation? Whatever, movie, hiking, it doesn't matter. This is conversation building. Now that is weaving in an emotional connection to a first date. Remember, it's deeper than physical. Physical has already been checked off by the fact that they met you. Nobody meets the person that's pug ugly. They just don't. Oh, I'm going to meet this really disgusting, like ugly man. No, I'm not. Well, I did as an experiment, but no. Good God. Linda Brown. Linda, I have to stop right here. Linda Brown just gave me $200. I can't even believe this. Linda, I don't know how to begin to thank you. Lauren and I were looking for you. I'm going to have to screenshot this, or B and Gwyneth, can you do it? I'm afraid if I touch a button, I'm going to make everything go away. Could B or Gwyneth just screenshot that for me? Linda, I don't even know how to thank you enough. I'm not even working with you. I mean, this is amazing. What can I do for you? What can I do for you? Here she says, another awesome video. Thanks much, Miss Susan. Linda, I mean, okay, so B and Gwyneth, can you screenshot this for me and save it? I'm really so afraid if I touch a button, you're all going to go away. Wow. Linda, we're going to post this in our fan mail, our fan feature Fridays on Instagram. So if you are on Instagram, or would you be so kind, Linda, as to write me media@susanwinter.net. Lauren and I will get it. I can respond to you personally, and we would like to thank you on our fan feature Friday. That's where we highlight the fabulous people that are on this channel, the people that are generous. We did this with another man that showed up for the first time and gave me $100. I mean, we just really want to honor you and thank you. And if there's any commentary or something that I can do for you, please let me know, because this is astounding. I don't think anybody gets this kind of money. I think I feel like the best person in the world. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, you took a photo, B. Thank you so much. Linda Brown, we think you rock. We want to get closer to you. We want to know more about you. Please, this is your home. I've tried to create a family here. And I know Brian is here. All the people whose name is highlighted, they're YouTube family members or friends or whatever. We have different tiers. And that's just so I can know who you are. And Carrie Photo, how are you? CC, Jean P. Thank you, Jean P. Everybody knows media@susanwinter.net. Thank you so much. Just let me know what I can do for you. I'm here for all of you. This is why I do it. I could be playing golf. But I love our family. Okay? I love my sisters B and Gwyneth. Who gives up every Thursday? Right? They're backpacking through Wales or something, climbing a damn mountain, and they show up for the show. They're in Poland during COVID and they show up for the show in a tent. I mean, I can't believe it. Okay. Philly, thank you, thank you. Oh, Mito, Sweden. Oh my goodness. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everybody. Everyone hit the like button. Yep. I just want to show my appreciation for all this great dating relationship info. Linda, please contact me privately so I can really have a chat with you. I would really, really appreciate that. All of you, I thank you so much. Patricia Ware says, Susan, well deserved. You've been through the fire. You can relate. Yes, I have. Sometimes I put myself in a burning building to figure out how to escape. That's nuts. Okay. All right. Love, 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 love. And on we go to number 3. Oh, this is so exciting. Whee! Nika's looking at me. That's normally play with the BALL. Okay, number 3. Build on the nuggets of their conversation. This kind of piggybacks on number 2. That's their hobbies, their pets, their likes. The reason I want you to listen, again, you're looking for, can I connect? You're also seeing, you're kind of building your dream, but not an unrealistic dream. You're looking at the tidbits that they give you of their life and asking yourself, can I see myself there? Okay? It's one thing to make a dream and drop somebody into it and squeeze them into it and they're just not going. That's one thing. We don't want to do that. We want to take the information they give us when they don't think that we are assessing our life compatibility. And, like, do I want a professional athlete that's going to be gone every weekend and up at 5 a.m. and out of the house and come home exhausted? And, maybe there's sex, maybe there isn't. Do I want a partner who runs a disco or a club in New York City and rolls in at 5 a.m? Do I want that? Do I want somebody that hates to leave the house if I live inside the house and work on a computer? You're ferreting this out. Or do I like the idea that this person loves to travel? I've always wanted a travel companion. Ooh, do they like to go further than the boundaries of the United States? Do they love hiking? Oh my goodness, I can see myself hiking with my partner. That would be fabulous. Like B and Gwyneth, they love the outdoors, love nature. Well, I think Gwyneth is like a nature elf. I think she was dropped from another realm and put in here like fairy dust. So I think that's her natural habitat. But there are people that just, if your lifestyles are not compatible, and these are the clues that you want from the beginning. Are they too cerebral? Are they trying to impress you? I mean, I know we're talking about you creating attraction, you being the most attractive, but let's put it the other way around too and be fair. Are they so cerebral that they're trying to impress you with how much they know, which kind of makes you feel like you have to be stupid in order for them to feel intellectual and so they can have control? I mean, so all these things, they're going to come out in the first date. Now, you don't always pick up all of it. And this is why we go back and we kind of review how we feel about the entire interaction. But my goal is for you to shine. You may not want them, but you are going to shine. Okay? Then, now, so that again, so that was to build on their conversation, right? Number 4, and I am very guilty of this because I'm a lazy dater, but try to make an effort. Try to make an effort to at least look agreeable. Guys, like your hair should not be growing down on your neck. Like if you've got short hair, you shave that bit, right? Like do a little grooming thing. Like don't have a unibrow. I mean, there are just some silly things. I met a woman in Massachusetts with my good buddy Neil Wood. And if any of you are on Facebook or Instagram, he's such a happy, wonderful man. And he befriended me about 10 years ago and really tried to help me out when I launched Allowing Magnificence. And I met one of his friends named Catherine. She said, if I see another man show up on a date with socks and sandals, I'm going to beat him over the head with the menu. She said, why would an adult man do that? Why would an adult man, like you're over 60, you're not playing golf. Why are you wearing a baseball cap? Are you just trying to cover up the fact that you're bald? I mean, what's going on? It's a little weird. So people, we would like to look appropriate for the date. And so they're, generally speaking, in today's world, unless you are living in Milan, which everything goes out of the window, or Madrid, those are very dressy cities. Even New York is not as dressy as it used to be, right? But if you're in a major city where everybody's got to be on point, it's a little bit different. But the rest of the people in the world, maybe you've got your leggings, maybe you've got a t-shirt, but, a little effort, because that is your first impression. And if you want to be kind of honest about it, you want to have the upper hand as far as you feel good about yourself. So if you can, if you have the time, please just take some time to arrange your outfit, make yourself and get the right state of mind. I know a lot of people are rushing from one date to the next, but I'd like you to try and take a moment and figure out, what is it do I want to accomplish? I didn't have this written down, but it's a good one, so I'm going to add it in. We're going to actually have 6. But what am I seeking to accomplish here? Okay, I got to stop here. Libby, because it's all in caps, so it sounds like it's really important. Oh my God, this has made me realize the ex was so incompatible, and I was so sad with him, even though I tried to force happiness. Thanks so much. You are welcome, my dear. I hope I can remember what I was saying. No, oh my God, I hate this when I get off track. But okay, I don't remember. I'll come back to it. Anyway, so we have to find this resonance with us. And okay, it's in here someplace. I'll find it. I'm going to skip on to the next. Whatever that was, it was important. Okay, now this is important too. I'll come back to it if you remember. The last thing is to find them. Oh, I know. There's a lot of stuff in this computer all these years. We've got to defragment it. Nobody has found a way to do it. So I want you to be finding their heartbeat. And this is really important. And you're going to find, this is so pivotal, okay? People don't think about it. But part of you doing your due diligence to take care of yourself is when you find a person's heartbeat, you have found their center. And you can never love them unless you know their heartbeat. And what I mean by that is, what drives them? What makes them get up in the morning and put any effort into anything? Some people, it's ego, which is fear of not being good enough. Some people, it's power and control. You will hear it. You'll start to hear it. You'll hear it by the boasting or whatever else. But when you find their heartbeat, if it's a good person will have a heartbeat and you will hear it. It might be their family. It might be their parents. It might be their dog. It might be a philosophy. It might be a religious faith. But it is the center point of their value system that defines who they are. So if you do not understand that about your partner, you really aren't loving them, because you're not, I mean, you are to the best of your ability, but you're not seeing them. And what I deal with so often, my inbox is flooded from the different media portals, right? Like, why didn't they text me back? We slept together. I thought we had something. But I know it's like this, just hundreds of these. But if you took the time to find their center, their heartbeat, you would understand who they are. I had a girl who was dating a guy, and she was so distraught that it was a long story, but he didn't let her come visit him. He was from a foreign country. He was a good-looking big bodybuilder, and he was the driver and handyman of a man who loved having him around for his visual pleasure. So that's a tentative thing. They're not crossing the line, but he doesn't want to. The guy who's hiring him is looking at this bodybuilder as a fantasy that's unattainable for him, but he's hoping, and he doesn't want to be polluted with some girl coming in to stay with the guy for the weekend. I tried to explain to her, he is from a foreign country. He does not have a green card. And then I said to her things like, does he talk about his mom? Oh, yeah, he talks about his mom. Do you realize he might be the only one that made it to America? Yeah, I think he is. But you're not getting it. He's doing this for his family. It's about the family. You're pissy that he's not going to let you come to his apartment because his whole livelihood and the money he brings back to his family is contingent upon playing this role with his employer. And you want him to jeopardize that for you. For you. So she didn't see his heartbeat, which as I'm listening to her, I'm like, and you tell me you love him? Really? You tell me you love him. You want him. You like him sexually. You don't know who this guy is. So it amazes me how people can become so enchanted with somebody that they don't understand. They don't understand their values. They don't understand what makes them tick. So if you are obsessed with somebody, this could be your key out. Do I really understand who they are and why they do what they do? Or do I just want them to fit into my dream? We all do it. That's the frustration. When we're dating, the anxiety, they're not matching our dream. We got a dream. They looked like they were going to work. They said they were going to work. They're not working. Now we're angry. We're upset. We're anxious. We're confused. But who are they really at their core? Why do they wake up? What do they live for? What is their meta? What is their goal? When you find that, if it is something that you agree with, you understand, and you can align with, the power of your connection with this person is undeniable. You will have a lock on them by sheer seeing it, by being in honor. It's a huge responsibility. You can't muck it up. You just got to really, you must honor it and understand it. Some people, it's their faith. You got to understand that. You have to, do I want to take this on? Do I agree with it? Can I understand them? It's very important. It's their thing. Okay? So if you can get that, the level of attraction, it'll be firing spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, physically, everything. And the other thing that I forgot that I finally came back to is, what is your intention? So actually it is 6, right? What is your intention? Because when you know your intention, the way you come in, I would like you to try an experiment, those of you that are dating. Set an intention for yourself for which they will be the beneficiary. For example, my intention is to meet this person, really Have an easy, fluid conversation, get to know who they are and get a real sense of them, and for us to feel comfortable and relaxed with each other. Just set that as your intention, right? Doesn't hurt. Your intention should not be, and I want them to want me. Your intention should be that this is a meet and greet and you get to experience each other, but you'd like it to be pleasant and mutually beneficial, that you'd like to both have a really good time. Then for sure you're having a good time. They'll feel good. Everything will be good. Now, I'm here to answer your questions. Enough of me yakking. Does anybody need anything? I'm back. So nice to be back on this live stream with you. Thank you, YouTube Freshie. Your advice has been so invaluable in my life lately. Thank you. You are welcome. And again, huge thanks to Linda. Linda, ultimately, she rocks, rocks, rocks. Sarah M., thanks. Susan, I had so much difficulty accepting who my ex is, trying to heal him. Linda Brown, seems that people only focus on a person's material assets instead of getting to know what their true character is. That's right. And that's the glue. Because I'm assuming that those of you here want something deeper. I know you do. You want something meaningful and built on layers of real connection. I promise you. Listen, I don't know how many of you have done a decade or more with a person. I haven't had many partners, but they have been really long. And you can't get through that many partners in a lifetime. And you just can't do that many people if you're doing that many years. The sex, in the beginning, it's everything. And the attraction, the chemistry, and the excitement of getting to know somebody new and learning all about them. And the excitement of becoming a couple. And for me, the lack of anxiety and finally locking it down and getting them in the gate and like, okay, good. Then there's kind of that other thing, that's the after the honeymoon period where you're like, okay, how do we work together? How's this going? And then after that, it's the routine things. And in a 10-year, 15-year relationship, the sex is not the same. We got to be real about this. But what happens is that there are ebbs and flows, and we have a lot to contribute to that. But the love that gets deeper, which when there is the lovemaking, is so much more profound in a spiritual body way. That's, for those of you that know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But it is, there's sex which is physical, and then there's this merging, which is true unity, and it is beyond mind-blowing. It's a spiritual experience in itself, right? That comes from the deep, ongoing commitment and the love. It changes. So we cannot ride on having sex and chemistry be our glue. I know people that are struggling and combative relationships that are hot and cold. The way you get back together is the makeup sex. But you know, you have to keep doing it because you keep falling apart. And those relationships are ultimately unsustainable if you have any self-confidence or self-esteem, or you want any sort of serenity in your life. They're impossible to maintain. The chaos is so extreme. I know that kind too. Okay, so I think that what we need to do is, you want deeper, come in deeper. You want more, be more. You want to find more, look for more. Just don't be less. Okay? Those are some good first tips for being attractive. And people, this harkens back to how to win friends and influence people. This is a very old concept, but people like you when they feel good about themselves around you. You all know what it's like to walk into a room and there's somebody there and they look all right and everything, but you get near them and you kind of become self-conscious. Like maybe you feel like, I don't know, my nails aren't, or my clothing isn't, oh my God, this is from last season. What do I do? This is from 20 seasons ago. And you kind of feel like you're being judged, or maybe you're not enough. We know that that's their stuff, but in the moment, you can't connect and you don't feel comfortable. And that is not gracious. It's not mannerly. It's certainly not classy. And class has nothing to do with money. Class has to do with the ability to make one comfortable in your presence. That is magnanimous, right? I was trying to think. I don't know. Can I say the word magnanimity? Oh, that's a hard one. Okay, what all do you have to say here? Should we give people a chance we have no physical attraction to? Very good question, Chocolate Princess. You can't be repulsed by them. You cannot. But there are people who have happily married a type they never thought they would be attracted to. So there's attracted, like off the charts attractive, the kind that walks into a room and everybody wants them. And then there's agreeable looking, not over the top, but acceptable. And anything from visually acceptable to okay could be a candidate. Here's why. They might have developed the other qualities. Beautiful people do not need to develop a personality. You might have noticed that. Beautiful people do not have to work very hard in life. They're given things. And God forbid the day that they get older or the beauty fades because they don't have the skill set, because they never needed to develop one. But there is something, generally speaking, about people who are less than gorgeous. If they're smart, they've tried harder to become more. It's like every human being knows there's a pie chart of worth. And in our country, looks and money, that's it, or influence, right? Now, social influence. In other cultures, it could be standing, like status, aristocracy, great wealth from old time periods, social status. In America, our social status is economic. In other countries, it was, heredity and family and titles. So, though every culture is different, people should innately find a way to even their odds. I think we all do. I was inherently shy and insecure as a kid, and probably most of my adult years, very secure in some areas and then very unsure in other areas. And I couldn't speak up in class. I was a W in the very last row and way in the corner. And I was afraid to ask questions, to sound stupid. And I was afraid to speak up. And I had a very soft voice. And I always thought that whatever I said would probably be wrong. So I didn't dare ask it. And I just didn't trust myself. And I'm inherently a little withdrawn and shy by nature. But I decided to take an acting class because I knew this. And now I present pretty well after years of putting myself on the stage. Not comfortable. I was the chubby kid that looked like a Hershey's Kiss, little tiny upper body, big ass and thighs. Looked at myself and went, oh my God, I'm 20. I look like shit. What am I going to look like at 60? Oh my God, this is as good as it gets. And I made myself go to a hardcore gym with people that I didn't run, I didn't jump, played a hell of a game of golf, but there's not much, just swing a club, rode horses. What do you do? Sit on the horse's back, post a little bit if you're English, but, forced myself to go into a gym to try and even it out. Became a fantasy action figure at 48 to 53. So, who does that? That's overcompensation to balance it out. But people will do that. What about, the short guy? The short guy who's going to be the biggest earner because he's been picked on for being short, or he's going to be the tough guy in the gym. Everybody compensates. And so what we are looking for is if you have somebody that you're not physically, oh my gosh, there's a plus to that. My girlfriend only goes for, she says she's looking for guys with a dad body because she's not in shape. And she doesn't want them too attractive because she doesn't want a lot of competition. But you have to find enough inside this person to keep you attracted to them because already the visual isn't going on. So when I say they've got to knock it out of the ballpark with humor, status, money, fun, playfulness, honor, character, discipline, kindness. They've got to have filled it in. Okay. Are there any more questions? Let's see. What's class? I love that definition. I have a friend like that, and I'll never forget how we met. He was an executive. I was an assistant. He gave me his full attention. We are friends to this day. That was a man of character. I am on such a rant about manners. I'm telling you, I realize that there are certain people that no matter how kind and nice they are and smile, don't have manners. It's very simple. I mean, the words thank you, I'm sorry, these are staples. Please, just be thoughtful. When I look at the dating world out there, it's like a free-for-all. It does not have to be that way. For any of you dating that are experiencing unkind, cruel, thoughtless behavior, please understand that is not okay. It is not normal. It may have degraded. It doesn't mean that we've normalized bad behavior. I call it bad behavior because it's bad behavior. I can't call it, my media director just says, Susan, it's now called dating. I'm like, no, I refuse to accept that. You have to see it for what it is. This person is uninformed and obviously, ding, 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 not a partner for you. Not a partner for you. But please don't let their bad behavior eradicate your class, your breeding, your character. Don't let them make you less, because if they make you less and you adapt to that group, you will be playing with that group. That will become your group. And whatever you're experiencing that you didn't like, that is your life. You've got to fight always to hold on to the character and your beliefs of what you think is high and good and true and real and fabulous, and hold the vision of the life you want to experience. That is what magnetizes people to you, because you read so clearly. You are that thing. And anyone who knows real knows real. Anybody who knows fake can see fake. I'll never forget, I hired my doorman to take care of my mother because I needed somebody. He had gotten fired from my building. He was so good with my dog. I had a sled dog at that time, a Samoyed. And he was beloved by everybody, and he didn't have a job. And my mother needed to be broken out of a nursing home. They wouldn't let her come back to this home unless she had somebody to stay with her. I was working. I couldn't just uproot myself and just stay here. Robert needed a job. I moved him into the home, and he found our landscaper mucking about where the safe is in one of the back rooms. Robert was from the hood. A criminal knew a criminal. He knew a bad guy because he'd seen it. Didn't mean he was, but he saw it. Nobody else could convince. Oh, I was just looking, checking the water, thought something was back there. He saw it. You know what you are, or you know what you have been exposed to. So people that are real know what real is. Yeah? So don't ever lose your light. Don't let them make you less. Never be less so they can feel like more. Ever, 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 ever. Any other questions today? Okay. He became my mentor, friend, and confidant. He's a wonderful communicator who moves across all levels of society with ease, kindness, and interest in others. I treasure our friendship. That is so beautiful. Golden Hawk, unfortunately, you're right, Susan. It took me at least over a dozen dates to find a good guy who wanted something really serious. And you lucked out at a dozen. I've had friends that have gone on 100 dates. Yeah, 100. I went on 98. I mean, I remember, so online radio interviews were kind of a new thing. I was used to working with the legacy channels, and I was doing an interview, and I had written an article for Huffington Post called 98 Dates, 9 Months, Here's What I Learned. And it was all about, the whole protocol of dating and getting dressed up and showing up and all the falseness. And, I wanted to know who they were. And I felt like I was being put through all the rigors. And like, if I do well, it's like the the pig and farm show, like you get a little blue ribbon. But I remember doing that because I was thinking to myself, there's so much protocol that goes on to this, and how do you find your way to real? But when I did the 98 dates in 9 months and I got on this radio show, there's a gap. And he said, "You did 98 dates in 9 months?" I said, "Yeah." "Oh my God, have you been tested?" So I'm listening. Tested? Tested. He was talking about for AIDS or venereal disease or something. I'm like, I didn't sleep with him. I had a date. In my world, a date means I meet you for coffee, I meet you for dinner. I don't drink, but I'd meet you for drinks. It didn't mean I sleep with you. So date used to be courting, taking you out. Then date became I slept with. So I'm scrambling during a live show to try and figure out what this person meant and to not look like some hoe. "Oh yeah, slept with 98 guys for fun. Just have dinner." It's like it wasn't like that. And people went crazy with that post. It blew up. It went viral. I think I came back 30 seconds later. It was at 1.6 thousand, and then it was like over 1 million by the end of it. I was like, oh my God, they think I'm just a broke blogger trying to get a free meal and get laid. And it was just, I was using the word date. But, so there are some differences. What can I do for you guys? I'm so tired of dating online. Everybody is. Okay, we all hate it. I took my profile off and feeling so much better. I think the apps are designed to have you stay single. They are. That's true. I don't think online is for me anymore. It's not for any civilized person. But I'm going to fight you back on this. When you need a dating detox, get out. If you're just feeling polluted and overwhelmed, just clear your system, go away, do something fun, and forget all of it. And start to open up your eyes when you go to the grocery store. You never know who's there, getting gas, whatever. But the thing about online dating is it's a condiment. It's not a main course, okay? You use it like a little salt on your meat. Like, try to meet in real life, because you'll get, then what happens in real life, we get a full diagnostic. We've got our eyes, we've got our ears, we've got our vibes, we've got our feelings when we're meeting them. You can't tell from a chat. You can't tell. They come chat you up, then they leave. You don't know what you got. You don't know if you have the right person. You could be a scammer. Are they who they look like? Are they the gender they say they are? We don't know who you are. So I understand your frustration. And as of this year, 50% of online people were scammers, romance scammers, yeah, Bitcoin scammers, whatever, looking for something. So in the real world, if you are single and looking, keep your eyes open. Don't be crazy, but keep your eyes open. I tell you about my friend who picked up his fiance like shopping in Duane Reade, just grabbed the closest thing next to her and said, "Does this work?" Just wanted to start the conversation. They've been together, I think 25 years now. So there are lots of ways to do this and do it better. You can't make someone interested. They have to be interested on their own, or you'll be constantly pulling in the effort. I learned that on my own. Fantastic. Does anybody else have any more questions before I get off? All right. Anybody need to say hi to that I missed? Linda Brown, we do dearly love you. Gwyneth, it's definitely true that I don't feel like I'm from this planet. No. Gwyneth, you are a nature creature. We don't have a name for that yet. We will find out what you are. You're the evolution of whatever humans are when they come back in 3/4 spirit form. Spirit and fairy dust form. Okay, Anya, wow, this is such great insight. Thank you for sharing this, Susan. Okay, anybody else have anything before I go off? Okay. If I'm not going on 100 dates, am I screwed? We just need one. And listen, you don't have to leave the house. You can do a Zoom thing from here up, or you can do, on the online dating, they have visual apps. And I oftentimes, especially tell the ladies to do this, before you get dressed up and you drive someplace, ask them if they'll meet you on the app, because almost all the apps have a visual component. They did this after COVID. You have a short video chat. One, you get to immediately screen if they are 40 years older than their photo, if they are not who they say they are, if they don't show up because they have bad internet connection, like, no thank you, Yahoo boys, we're not doing this. Nope. You just have to understand that that's not a person. But if they show up and it's kind of agreeable, then leave your house. We add it as a compliment, as a condiment, because remember, here's the benefit of online dating. Okay? It ups the odds of the people that you can meet. You will meet people outside of your social circle. If you're reclusive, I think the stats are something like you will tend to meet and date people within 15 blocks of your apartment, or your world will live within 15 blocks of your apartment if you're in a city, or within your community and the next community if you're in the suburbs. So there are people over there that we'll never meet if we're not online. We would just never have a social function in which to see them. So that's the reason we do it, just to extend the possibility of having a greater selection of prospective partners. Now, okay, we're coming to the end of our hour. I want to make sure one more time that I thank Linda Brown. And Linda, I hope that you write to me. Please, media@susanwinter.net. Anybody else before I log off? Are there any other questions? I'm definitely a nature person, so is Brian Pablo. Okay, so people out in nature. Now, there aren't always a lot of people walking around in the woods, but if you know you love that about yourself, and that's where you come alive, that's part of your heartbeat, or that's one of the places where your heart beats. Any kind of organization, even a cleanup crew that comes to like pick up the trash, tourists that think they want to be a visitor of nature, a conservancy, anything, maybe hiking group, or I don't know, bird watchers, or whatever the thing is, find groups. I joined a private club in New York, a social club. I have stepped foot in offices to work for the company and left, or to meet a lawyer or a financial planner. I have no idea what goes on inside of a big high office building because I've been self-employed doing some version of this on camera, acting, something, singing, but completely removed from the business world. Oh, I've then had my own show in financial news, and still it was comprehensive in that way, and that me learning and writing scripts about it was more of an interview of the CEOs, where my job was to make them shine. So it was I asked the right questions, but even so, I have no idea what people do. So I had to join a private club to expose me to the kind of people that I wouldn't meet when I leave the house. When I leave the house, I walk Nika, or I go to the store or something close, or I go to the gym. And the gym I like to go to is not the fancy gym where all the executives and the CEOs and the influencers go to take their photos with shiny equipment. I go to a hardcore weightlifting gym with guys that look gorgeous and women that, are muscly. That's where I want to go. So I'm not going to meet a CEO there. I'm not going to meet anybody that works in an office there. They're mostly models, actors, professional bodybuilders. And the hours I go are daytime. Who is free in the daytime? People on disability? Yeah, who knows? So knowing this about myself, what I do is thrust myself into an environment where I can expand my social circle. It was never for dating, and it was never to get clients. I went there to have an elegant, it's very, it's, how do I say, easy elegance. It's a quiet, it's not a C&B scene. It's not like some of the clubs where people are taking photos and their Instagram. very, it's a high level, but more refined and restrained group. So I like that. Nobody's trying to be she. Everybody's comfortable. They got what they got. They don't have to flaunt it. I like that. And the staff are lovely. I do that as a way for me to make friends and meet people I would never meet in day-to-day life. I live on the West Side. I live in Hell's Kitchen. And it's a whole nother vibe. So you may want to think of doing something for yourself like that. $5. Brian Pablo, yeah, we go to the weightlifting gym. I'm so big and strong. Yes. Brian Pablo, he's a bodybuilder, looks great. I dress appropriately to what the date consists of. Jean P, that's great. Jean P, you're Nika's friend, aren't you? Linda Brown says, dress very feminine on dates. Good for you, Linda. Fabulous. I'm so introverted. I don't like groups. Kylie, I understand. I don't like, okay, I don't go to a group to have group mentality. I'm afraid of group thought and getting into a system that's going to kind of be not cultish, but I can't even find a political party that defines me, let alone could I say a religious group that I'm like, I'm all in. I buy everything you say. Knowing this, I treat it like a doctor's appointment. I join a group that has enough of whatever my intention is to explore, whether it's successful, dynamic people that are warm and comfortable and happy in life, or it is sporty people to inspire me to work out and look good. But I treat it like a doctor's appointment. I come in, I merge, and I leave. I understand this. Groups terrify me because I think of group thought, and then I think of control, then I think of people shaping how my thinking is going to go, and that bothers me. So I go in, I take what I want and leave the rest, right? Like the AA saying. So think of it that way, and I think it'll be more palatable. All right, anybody else? Okay. Okay, I'm going to leave now because I indeed do love Nika, Jean P. So we have one of her toys. It's one of her favorite ones that I got her that you gave her the money. And I throw it, and it's kind of like this long thing. It's too big for her, but she grabs it, and it's like bigger than her mouth. She's like that, and it throws really well because it's a little rigid, and then it's soft and squishy. She is chilling over in the corner because I took her chair. So she's sitting near the fireplace. Everyone, I'm going to sign off for today. I will see you next week. I thank you, Linda Brown. I thank you, everyone, Brian Pablo, everybody who contributed today. Thank you for the lovely commentary. I hope this helps you to be more attractive on a much deeper, more profound level when you date. Also, what I've shared with you works in business, making friends, being in a social environment where you want to shine. You shine because you allow that person to shine. And you're getting vital information as to, is this somebody agreeable that I would like to see again? Could they be a friend? Could they be a partner? Would this be an appropriate business colleague? How do I feel about this person? It's doing that. Oh, before I get off, I got to let you all know, next Wednesday, which as of today's shooting would be April 26th, 2023, 11 a.m. Pacific time, I'm going to be having a live show with Jonathan Aslay. A lot of you who follow me follow him and vice versa, right? It's on his channel. It is the lead feature video that I've got on my channel that'll tell you more about it. The big one when you look at my channel. So please come over to that next Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And I'll see you next week here next Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Or 2 p.m. Eastern. Okay, everyone. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Ms. Susan. Awesome info. Linda, you are fabulous. Again, huge thanks. Make sure to write it so I can properly thank you. Everyone else, thank you so much. Bea and Gwyneth, adore you. Brian Pablo, Jillian, everyone who showed up today. Mwah. Wishing you the very best.